Hello YouTube, this is Tammy Pie and I'm back with another video. This is going to be a long one, folks. This has been a long time coming too, because this is one of my all-time favorite tarot author and artists. You'll see by the title that this is going to be a capsule collection. These are my Robert M. Place decks. Now, there are some decks that I have owned that I no longer own. I don't have the Vampire Tarot anymore. I moved that along. I just used it for a long time, enjoyed it, and you know, I have a lot of other stuff like that, so I let it go. And sometimes I wish I had it back, though. It's such a good deck. I no longer have the Burning Serpent Oracle, which also great deck, great book. It is it's a Lenormand, and I believe the book is by Rachel Pollack. And it really was foundational in helping me to understand Lenormand. It's got a couple extra cards. It has like extra man, extra woman, but it also has like higher self gods in it. I think Isis and Osiris, maybe. So really, really cool deck. But the first deck that I ever got of his was the Alchemical Tarot Renewed 4th edition. So the Alchemical Tarot has been around for a really long time. It was his first deck, and the earlier decks they sometimes go for pretty high prices, but he just keeps on putting out great quality decks. So every deck that he puts out is great in some way. And I'll get deeper into that. So the next deck of his that I got was the Hermes Playing Card Oracle. And this was the first dive into Lenormand. And this isn't great for learning Lenormand, in my opinion, but it is really cool because it's a great playing card deck. And I'll just show you a couple cards because why not? So I've pulled out the ones that are not traditional Lenormand, but they do have symbols on them that can be used in an oracular way, right? And then it comes with a little white book, which I think his little white books are great. And I watched a few Robert M. Place videos, and they are woefully uninformative. So rider, clover, ship, you know, Lenormand, house, tree, clouds, snake, coffin, bouquet. A few of these symbols are a little harder to grasp, but honestly, more often than not, that deck gets used as a playing card deck in my collection. So I'm pretty sure then I got the Burning Serpent. I found the vampire one. I found the vampire one on like eBay for $57 or something. So it was, I had gotten like a ton of use out of it. I used it a bunch. I love those images. but somebody offered me twice that, and I needed money at the time, so, you know, we live and we learn. We've got an Ukioye Lenormand, which is Japanese inspired on the Lenormand, over the Lenormand meanings, but it also is a certain art movement in Japan. So some of those images he had to change so that it would fit with the time in the art movement. I have the Tarot of the Sevenfold Mystery. Gorgeous, gorgeous deck. A little bigger. This one is a little bigger than the Alchemical. And then I've got this 5th edition of the Alchemical. I have the 2 versions of the Buddha Tarot. I've got the old Llewellyn one. Doesn't have a box anymore. This is the one that has the different colored borders, which I find incredibly helpful. And honestly, the little white book for this was great. I did not realize how I didn't need the big book. I looked for the big book for years. And you know how sometimes you're looking for that book and it's so expensive. And they're not giant books. You know, they're kind of small. People want like $150 for them or whatever, and that just wasn't going to happen. And then I love this one, the Raziel Tarot. I put some of these in my top tarot trumps every once in a while. We'll get into that a little bit. Last year at Newt's, I got the Angels Tarot. Is that it? I think that's it. You know, and of course the big book and everything. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera down and we'll have a look at some of these. All right. Okay, so I'm going to show you these, but not in an exhaustive way, just like, all right, so there's the cover and 2-part box, cloth covered. They're really beautiful. The little white book. And again, it's a great little white book. It explains a lot if you read it. Anyway, the back of the card, the symbol means good luck. Okay, this is one of the things that wasn't pictured in this art movement. So he used it. He used a plant that looks like a heart for the heart. Are we? Okay, here we go. For the pathway, this is a kind of Buddhist statue that you find on pathways in Japan. The bouquet, clouds, beautiful. The man, the tree, the pagoda instead of the tower, stork, moon, messenger, daikoku, the scythe. And this is one of the, I think it's 7 laughing gods. It's the rice god. So rice, you would use a scythe to cut it, right? Gintaro, the child, the letter, the lotus instead of the lily. Gotta love it. The woman, look at this. Okay, so that is an Ukioye Lenormand. Okay, so I'm going to do the Angels Tarot. And this is probably my least favorite cards. Well, not my least favorite. My least favorite is going to be the current printing of the Buddha Tarot. But, and this one it's super pippy. I actually kind of like the thinness of it, but it's so glossy, it's sticky. And the idea behind this is that they look a little more like playing card symbols. So hearts instead of cups. This would be wands or clubs. And then the angels, right? And since this is an older Robert and Place deck, the art style's just a little, he hasn't quite pulled it together. There's spades instead of swords, clubs, hearts, and diamonds instead of pentacles, right? Metatron, but it's it's a very dramatic deck. King of clubs. Yeah. At least with this one you can shuffle it, right? Because it's a good size. Okay? Now this is the Raziel Tarot. I bought it just before it went out of print. I had been hemming and hawing and looking at it and thinking, oh, I cannot, because it was expensive in the first place. But the descriptions, y'all, holy cow. So this deck is based on Abrahamic myth. So these are all, the tower is the temple. The magician, I believe this is Moses. This is such a good, I mean, and we have extra cards. There's the devil. The justice. Okay, so that's gonna be in my stars. And the tree of knowledge. But this stuff is so, and look at this. She's so gorgeous. Okay, I could really get into this. But suffice it to say that the stories behind these cards are just beautifully illustrated by Rachel Pollack, who was a magician of words, right? She was a high priestess. Just what a loss. What a loss. But she lives on in her creations. And she and Robert and Place had a couple really great collaborations. I wish that this had turned into a whole deck, because I know this one was released first as a majors only, like the Raziel. So I think he just does things in his own time. He works at it and works at it and works at it, and everything, every card, every piece of every card, the colors, the lines, the symbology, everything has meaning. It's all there for a reason. And although he is a master of layering a theme onto a deck, the Vampire Tarot is a great, piece. All the decks, all the Robert and Place decks, have the same theory in mind, and they all are very kind of storyline. So he moves you through the major arcana as if it were a story. And the minors too are very, one comes right after the other, and they progress, which, because Alchemical Tarot was one of my earlier tarots, it's kind of how I think of tarot. And I love that card. There's a guy on here that was like, oh, I hate this Hermes. How could you hate that? It's so pretty. And it's so hermity. Anyway. Enough of my whining. Okay, so I don't know if I've ever seen anyone show the actual size difference, but this is the old Llewellyn printing, and this is the new Schiffer. Is it Schiffer? I think it's Schiffer Red Feather. Let me see if I have a box. Red Feather, yeah. And this cardstock is abysmal. It's true. This is much better cardstock, much easier to handle. And these illustrations are just gorgeous. This deck, the story that it follows is Siddhartha becoming Buddha, right? And then the suits, the suits are colored. So this is the earth suit, the jewels. They're colored because of the different Buddhas. So the Buddha of jewels is like the Buddha of the north or something like that. The lotus is wands. So all the kings are Buddhas. All the queens are Saktis. All the knights are animals. And all the pages are Dakini, which is cool. Double Vajra is actually water. This is the water suit. And you could kind of tell. And then Vajra is the air suit, the swords. Okay? So I just want to look at a few of these cards. The positive of this one, of this edition, is that the artwork is nice and big. The cards are matte, which is kind of nice. People were asking for matte cards, right? Okay, there's a shadow there because this is where my light comes from in the window. So you can really see this. Let me. And the color is particularly beautiful, in my opinion. So that's Siddhartha's father, I think. There's a Dakini. So they dance, right? They dance. There's Siddhartha cutting off his hair for strength. This is so pretty. The Emperor and Empress is Siddhartha and his wife. Just awesome. I love when decks do that, when they really make the Emperor and Empress go together. Vajras is swords. So this would be the 10 of swords, or death of the ego, right? And this is a demon attacking this person. And this is the wheel of karma. Or sorry, reincarnation. Karma, I think, is like justice. But yeah, very cool. What are you going to be in the next life? This is, I should have put this in my death video, but I mean, there's too many things. This is about how he starved himself and became a living corpse. And this is the hermit, where Siddhartha was raised behind walls. He he didn't realize that there were old people or starving people. And when he came out, he had a rude awakening. The Tower. And this is it, right? This is where everything changes because he realizes. Here's the Moon. There's the Star, which is the 7 chakras. Like I said, the knights are all animals, so the animal of air would be the elephant, because the elephant never forgets. And here we have the 4 of jewels. So this guy is holding on to all his stuff, and he needs to be sharing. Get a grip, share. The 8 of jewels, he's working on whatever, making a knife or something. Lotuses is the wands. And here we have 3 of wands. He is throwing the fish back to cure himself. So this is a ritual way of returning to source so that source will help you out. And this is 8 of lotuses, which would be 8 of wands, and very clever way to do this. He's talking about having to harvest things at a certain time, kind of apropos for the time right now too, because it's what, September 14th, 13th, 14th today, and harvest is just about around the corner, right around the corner. We have the 9 of double Vajra, which I believe double Vajras is cups. So this would be what is traditionally the wish card. And that is, there are throughout the deck several places where he shows the hands in yoga mudras. And I forget what this mudra means, but, you know, it's the 9 of cups. 7 of lotuses would be 7 of wands. So he's protecting himself against a snake. Oh, there they are. Siddhartha and his wife. And there's the chariot where he rides into town. Here he is coming down, becoming the Buddha. And this is judgment. Anyway, yeah. But the problem with that deck is it's really stinking hard to use because it's so big. And honestly, the cardstock is reprehensible. Oh, wait. So this is my old original Alchemical 4th edition, which I've edged in all kinds of pretty colors. And these cards are super glossy, but look, don't you love when that happens? When you shuffle the deck so much, it shuffles the ink right off the edges. The cardstock is shiny, but the shininess helps show the colors. Again, they match. Get 2 lovers, 1 pre and 1 during. The Helios Sun. Justice holding up the even. The Hermit with the crow. The red and the white dragons. Anyway, all of these have particular meaning with regard to alchemy, right? This is the symbol for the Philosopher's Stone. So this alchemist is getting ready to go on the journey. And because he's blindfolded, he needs a guide. So the hare is going to take him down into the cave. Okay, so, and then why, you might ask, would I need a second edition of the exact same deck? Well, it's because these cards are completely different. For one thing, they're gold gilded, which is, you know, I know some people hate it, but I do not. And the cardstock is just really yummy. And then, of course, after I got this, they came out with the 6th edition, which has all the blue. But I can't just get another deck because it's prettier. I lose my mind. Okay, so here we have, I'm going to go through some of these and talk about how the meanings are a little different sometimes. So this is 8 of Pentacles. Standard, reasonable. You have the alchemical elemental symbols there. And this guy is making coins, right? He's perfected his art. He's making the coins. So this is the 5 of Swords. And usually in the 5 of Swords, you got, well, the RWS has the guys fighting with each other, right? Well, this guy is actually taking apart old swords to fix and make a better one. So he's tempering this metal. And it is a struggle, and some things are going to be lost, but something is going to be learned, okay? Something is going to come out of it that will in the end be useful, which, you know, what does the Pyrrhic victory do? It teaches you, right? Here is the 5 of Earth, or 5 of Pentacles. And I guess that's pretty obvious. She's limping along. She's not in a good way. She needs to ask for alms, but the alms are there. They're coming. She's going to get what she needs. Ace of Swords. I love what he does with these kind of rainbow transitions. He does it in like the I think the Judgment card. Of course, I can't find it now. Well, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this snake coming up, like realization, sudden thoughts. And here we've got the 10 of Cups. And this is distillation, right? The pots are boiling. All these cups are making this product more and more and more pure as they go through all the, so they work together. Instead of queens, we have lady. No, I'm sorry. Instead of pages, we have Lady of Swords. All the kings are animals, and the animals have a certain meaning. For instance, the eagle is, let's see. We'll just look. So I have this old book because when I got the deck, this is how he sold the book. And it's just Alchemy and the Tarot. Somebody mentioned that they wish they had a smaller book, and I gotta agree. The big book is harder to deal with, but I mean, it's got all the same stuff in it, right? Okay, so the crowned royal eagle proudly holds his upraised sword as he stands on air. He's a master of air and of intellect. He clutches his saber and proceeds to the left with confidence and self-assurance. He's the embodiment of positive thinking. Okay? So the animals all have like a particular, and what Robert and Place does is he takes a lot of this stuff from old alchemical texts, old etchings and drawings, and then he re-renders them. He does draw by hand and then feeds it through a computer, I believe, to straighten everything out. But I mean, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And this is the first card of the Blackening. I'm going to link Sacred Seeds video on this deck because she gives you all the real name. For me, it's just tarot, right? It's not that far from what other tarot cards mean. It just has a little extra layer. I love the story behind this. This is the sun the son of the sun god Helios. I forget his name. God, I hate that I do that, but he is pulling these two things together to try and drive the sun through the sky, and he fails dismally. Let's see. Six of Cups. She's pouring water from this larger jug into these smaller jugs, and this one is already growing a plant, so she's nurturing them. Very interesting. Four of Wands, wedded bliss. 10 of Swords, death of the ego. And the upside is he's going to learn from this experience. 9 of Swords. And this is a man who is walking underneath a bunch of swords that are hanging by strings. So of course he's terrified. He's afraid they're going to fall on him. So he's got to figure out a way to wind his way through this kind of craziness. Love this Ace of Cups. Isn't that beautiful? And this is, like I say, they're based on alchemical drawings. If you look in the book, it's really interesting. This Knight of Coins. These knights have just great armor. So excellent. This High Priestess was in my top tarot trumps. The lighting of the other wand from this wand. So it's attraction and production at the same time. Very interesting way to look at that. Here you have your Emperor with the eagle. Eight of Cups. Okay, so usually the Eight of Cups is somebody, a bunch of cups piled up, and then somebody walking up a mountain, right? In this case, you have a potter who has made a bunch of vessels, which is kind of more interesting. He's made some mistakes, but he has now become much better. He's a better potter because of it, right? So it's demonstrating skill of emotion. There's Prudence. I like this World card because it gives you different seasons. Beautiful Moon card. There's the two dogs and Cancer. Boys really liked this. Three of Pentacles. Temperance. Okay, I believe this is distillation. The two different liquids turning into steam. Look at this guy. The Hierophant with the silver and gold. Here we have the Six of Wands, and he's got the crown happening. Queen of Vessels is a mermaid. There's our Ace with the hair, getting ready to go on a... Here's the Tower. This tower is actually an oven. So in the alchemical process, you're going to need to have some pretty significant power to change something. And that is exactly what a tower means. A tower means something that happens dramatically that changes you forever, right? And we've got the red and the white. Again, the red and white shows up all over the place in this deck. And the lightning, this container is being broken. This oven is so hot that it's driving this stuff up and turning it into these other two products. The sun. Love this. A guy burying his coins. What's the point if you're going to put them underground? The star. This, I forget what this two-tailed mermaid is called, but I think it's like a Sophia. And she comes from under the water and brings information that is supposed to heal, to help, right? And then you have the blood and the milk being expressed from her, and the 7 main stars in this, which is it's another way of showing the Philosopher's Stone. There's the 3 of Wands. The 5 of Cups with the cup breaking. But look, the birds are escaping. And it's cool to have these just interesting, different little pieces. Look at this. This tree. The little raven talking in his ear. Because it gives, and this is a kind of young dragon. Here we go. I was hoping to come across this. This is the Judgment card. Look at what he does with this rainbow color. It's so pretty. And then the lion, this being vitriol. This is, again, a part of the alchemical process which makes something stronger. Love that 9 of Wands. Love this. Silver and gold, 2 of Pentacles. And we'll stop it on Justice, just because she's awesome. Okay, so that is my Robert and Place capsule collection. And if you stayed with me through all the hemming and hawing, I appreciate it. It was a rough evening. Yeah, okay. So thank you for coming.